Columbus Day used to be a cool holiday. Now it's been attacked and attempted to be canceled by the woke mob. They want to call Columbus Day Indigenous Persons Day, but that doesn't take away from the fact that he was the one who opened up North America to colonization. Colonization everywhere in the world happened with conflict. So we are going to find a little Columbus Day weird on today's episode of 5 Weird Things. Welcome to the channel. Columbus Day is huge with the Italians, of whom there were a few in my family. I still view Columbus as one of those explorers that did the job. Not a hero, not a villain either. But what are your thoughts? Are you taking the day off or not? Let me know down in the comments. All right, let's get into it. First, the things we need to know. Columbus Day is the U.S. federal holiday commemorating explorer Christopher Columbus's landing in the New World on October 12, 1492. It also celebrates the cultural heritage of Italian Americans, since many scholars believe Columbus was born in Genoa, Italy. Everybody got that? Good. Weird thing number 5. How did it become a holiday? The Knights of Columbus basically went full holiday mode. You'd think the Knights of Columbus would be busy with knightly stuff, but nope. This Catholic fraternal group lobbied hard for a holiday in honor of Columbus. Why? Because nothing says Catholic achievement like a guy who never realized he was not in Asia. It was kind of America's sorry card to Italian Americans, because back in the day, Italian Americans weren't getting the warmest welcome in the U.S. They ran the labor unions, but they were still ostracized in many areas. So making Columbus Day a holiday was like America handing them a giant Hallmark card that read, "You're one of us now. And hey, we'll even celebrate your guy who thought the Bahamas were India." Columbus was made into a symbol of patriotism, kind of accidentally. The U.S. decided to make Columbus a symbol of patriotism because nothing screams patriot like being absolutely sure you found a shortcut to Asia, but really ended up in the Caribbean. But hey, discovered new lands with the confidence of a man asking for no directions. Italian American Heritage Month with a Genoese twist. Fact, Columbus, many argue this. This is like going into 5 different websites. Many argue that Columbus was not Italian since Italy did not technically exist then. He was from Genoa, which was in Italy as it exists now, but it was not Italy at the time. But October is Italian American Heritage Month, so Columbus gets the credit. It's like celebrating the 4th of July with a Canadian flag, but hey, close enough. I was born out of racial tension with a side of pizza. The first official Columbus Day happened in Colorado in 1907. Why Colorado? Who knows? But an Italian immigrant named Angelo Noci, or Noci, something Italian, thought it was the perfect way to ease racial tensions. Turns out nothing says let's all get along like a parade for a guy who couldn't tell the new world from the old one, or anything in between. Weird thing number 4. Columbus never actually landed in America. Now, he was technically Bahama-bound, not U.S.-bound. So when he discovered America, he actually landed in the Bahamas, specifically on an island he named San Salvador. So if you're picturing him stepping onto U.S. soil with fireworks going off, think more tropical beaches and palm trees than patriotic fanfare. Now, he skipped over Florida like a tourist avoiding crowds. Columbus never set foot on what we call the mainland U.S., missing Florida entirely. I guess even back then, he preferred vacation islands over mainland tourist traps. Maybe he wasn't into the theme park scene? And he thought Cuba was China. Not only did he never land in America, but he was also convinced that the island of Cuba was part of China. Imagine being so sure in your directions that you tell your crew, don't worry, this tropical paradise is definitely China. No GPS, no problem. Just a wildly wrong guess. Now, his actual U.S. visit in any of his travels to the area? Non-existent. Despite the statues, holidays, Columbus never even saw the U.S. It's like being a key to a city you never visited. Columbus did not just miss the city, he missed the whole country. If only someone had left him a better map. Now, instead of America, Columbus spent most of his time hopping between islands in the Caribbean, like a seasoned cruise tourist. He explored places like Hispaniola and Puerto Rico. So while people in the U.S. celebrate him, Columbus was living the island life. thing number 3. Spain sponsored Columbus, not Italy. Spain wasn't Columbus's first choice. Originally, Columbus tried to get funding from Portugal, but they weren't buying what he was selling. They said basically, we're good with our current maps. So Columbus took his pitch to Spain, where they said apparently, let's sail west to Asia. Sounded like a lot more reasonable. Queen Isabella was Columbus's biggest fan. While Isabella and King Ferdinand both agreed to sponsor Columbus, it was Queen Isabella who was more excited about the whole New World thing. She must have had that adventurous streak, thinking, why not gamble on a guy who might not be able to tell Asia from the Bahamas? So Spain's investment was not really a lot. Despite how grand the voyage sounds, 3 ships, Spain didn't actually fork over a fortune. They provided the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, and even some of those were actually borrowed. It's like the medieval version of carpooling to a whole new continent. Now, the Spanish monarchy was busy with other stuff at the time. So when Columbus came knocking, Ferdinand and Isabella were in the middle of a war to kick the Moors out of Spain. So they probably thought, sure, Columbus, go do your thing across the ocean while we handle this all Reconquista business. One less problem on our hands. Now, Spain was looking for new bling. The real reason Spain sponsored Columbus, gold, lots of it. They were hoping Columbus would bring back piles of treasure from the Far East. Instead, they got tropical islands and some very confused reports about what he found. Not exactly the bling they had in mind. Weird thing number 2. Spain arrested Columbus. During his 3rd voyage to the New World, Columbus was appointed governor of Hispaniola, now Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Reports of his brutal rule, including mistreatment of both indigenous people and Spanish settlers, led to charges of tyranny and mismanagement. In 1500, the Spanish crown sent Francisco de Bobadilla, a royal commissioner, to investigate complaints. Bobadilla not only investigated, but also took matters into his own hands, arresting Columbus and his brothers and sending them back to Spain in chains. Columbus, once hailed as the hero who discovered the New World, was shipped back to Spain in physical chains, humiliating fall from grace for a once celebrated explorer. When Columbus arrived in Spain, Queen Isabella was reportedly furious at the sight of her prized explorer in chains. Though she and King Ferdinand were disappointed in his governance, they ordered him released and cleared his name of the most serious charges. Now, while he was released and compensated for his troubles, he never regained his titles of governor or viceroy of the lands he had discovered. His days of power and influence in the New World were effectively over, and he lived out his final years as somewhat of a disgraced figure. And finally, weird thing number 1. And of course, there's a lot of money to be made off of Columbus Day. Retail sales and promotions. Many retailers use Columbus Day as an opportunity for sales, often advertising Columbus Day sales that feature discounts on furniture, appliances, and more. It's like a mid-October Black Friday where the only thing discovered is a good deal on a couch. Travel deals and promotions. Travel agencies often capitalize on the travel theme of Columbus Day by offering special vacation packages or deals, promoting it as an ideal time to discover and get away. Because what better way to celebrate a guy who thought he discovered new lands than by taking a vacation yourself? Parade sponsorships. Columbus Day parades have become commercialized events with sponsorships from local businesses and corporations. These parades often feature floats, banners, even branded giveaways of merchandise, turning a historical celebration into a marketing bonanza. Holiday branding. Columbus Day has been marketed similarly to other holidays, complete with themed products, food items, and decorations. You might find Columbus Day themed treats or merchandise, even if it feels a bit forced. Cupcakes with ships on them, that type of thing. That's a party in my book. Controversial marketing. The commercialization of Columbus Day has drawn criticism, especially in the recent views of the explorer's complex legacy. Some businesses have faced backlash for promoting sales that seem insensitive to the historical and cultural implications of Columbus's actions. It's a tricky line to walk between celebrating a holiday and acknowledging its problematic history. So to sum up, the modern view of Christopher Columbus's achievements is a mixed bag, kind of like finding an old map that leads you to treasure of controversy. In short, Columbus's legacy is being re-examined, balancing his achievements and the complexities of history. So while he may have sailed the ocean blue, we're still navigating the waters of what it really means. Well, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, share the video. Click on more of my videos to keep the weird rolling. And for those still watching, and I do appreciate you, today's code word is discovery. Do me a favor, put that in the comments as either a positive or a negative comment you choose. Take care, have a great day.